2 wins in a week. Has it ever been this good since you took over? Is this the best?
Well, we had 2 wins. I think we did Preston. What did we do? Huddersfield, Preston. So that was a good week as well. Makes the week easier, that's for certain. Everyone's got more of a smile on their face and a little bit more relaxed, and it sets us up to be able to enjoy the weekend a little bit more than maybe if we'd lost 2 on the bounce.
Yeah, things got heated as well. There was clearly passions running high. I heard your interview after the game last night. Have you heard anything more from Barnsley or the FA to do with anything that happened after the game?
No, I was just reading with the girls in the office there. They said apparently we need to be more magnanimous in victory or something like that. But can't celebrate a victory. When are you allowed to celebrate? So no, yeah, it is what it was. It was nothing really. It was they didn't enjoy losing, which is fine. You shouldn't enjoy losing. But I've heard the geezers got previous as well. So. But yeah, no, it was all fun and games. I said nothing actually happened. It was, just a bit of a melee, and it was just a good ending to the night from our point of view.
Yeah, looking at some of the fans' reaction, they saw some of the players on loan, like Tommy Doyle and people like that, getting stuck in the tunnels. Well, they actually really enjoyed that part of it. I'm not sure you wouldn't condone anything that goes beyond the line, but to see the buy-in from the players in all aspects, is that encouraging in a way as well?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I didn't see any of their players running down to protect their staff. So from our point of view, it's fantastic. And as I said, it didn't need to happen. I was just celebrating with our fans like I do after every away game win like that. And it's a fantastic moment for us. And just was what it was, right at the death. I didn't know the guy was running down the touchline to greet me as I went into the tunnel. But yeah, it was fantastic to see the reaction from our players. And it shows how tight a group we are, and as I said, nothing happened. It always looks a hell of a lot worse than it actually is.
I know one of the contributing factors was that tackle on Alfie Doherty by Matt Anderson. How is Alfie and how's Steve Morison as well?
I don't know. I said I'm waiting for. I think Alfie was having a scan at 1, so we should have a result. But looking at the picture of it, it's not pretty. Just touch wood. We get lucky. But I'm not holding out any hope. Sean's got a scan tonight, so we'll find out tonight. But no, that just raised the tempers. There was lots of little things that went on, like they were endangering their own ball boys and kids around the pitch, like making them hide towels and stuff like that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a game. It's fair. The towels are there for everyone to use. You shouldn't go around and asking kids who are under the age of 18 to hide them away from grown men and stuff like that. And it's strange. I think it's something that I need to look at as a football club, because we're just there trying to win a game of football, and it should be fair for everybody.
Speaking of injuries as well, you'll have a couple of players cup-tied, won't you?
Yeah.
A couple of your loan players. Do you expect to have to make quite a few changes for this game?
Yeah, I was going to make changes anyway, but there's some enforced anyway. Obviously, losing the 2 through injury, and then. Obviously Alfie's one of those, but Uche and Cody are both cup tied, so I'd have had to make some changes anyway. But I think it's a really good opportunity to reward the especially some of the younger players who have been tasked with looking after this football club over the last 6 months, and trying to get them away from the bottom of the table. So it'll be a good opportunity to reward them. Some of them may never get the chance again to play at Anfield. Some may get that little bit extra urge off the back of it to go, actually, this is where I want to play all my games of football. So, it'll be a great day, and one we're going to look forward to.
You touched on it there. It can be that extra incentive, can't it, to play at a venue like Anfield against a team like Liverpool. Is it difficult for you as a manager to strike that balance when you make changes to keep the team as competitive as you can, but giving players those opportunities you mentioned?
It's always going to be difficult. Obviously, it's a strange one because you have to name like 20 players as well, because you can have 9 subs as well, can't you? So it's a good opportunity to bring some players in. Obviously, it's getting that balance right of, as you said, of keeping yourself competitive. But yeah, look, there's going to be so many positive take homes from the day. Playing at one of or not the most iconic stadiums in football, banged out, 8,000 Cardiff City fans, a full cop. Yeah, as a football player, it doesn't get any better than that. And I think some of them will be scared, some will be nervous, and they should be. And it's how well they control that, because we know they're good football players. It's a lot of it comes down to controlling that emotion and the mental side of it on days like that. So yeah, we'll do everything we can in the next couple of days to get them prepared as much as we can. And yeah, we'll see what happens on the day.
Just finally for me, a big buzz for the players, obviously, but for you as well, to lead your team out at Anfield and to test yourself against someone like Jurgen Klopp. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, test yourself. Is it a level playing field? No, I'm joking. Yeah, look, it's fantastic. I made my one of my dreams come true as a player, and getting to stand there and listen to the song as you walk out and get your goosebumps, and yeah, be a completely different environment that I'm going to be in. But I'm gonna squeeze every bit out of it I can. I'm gonna if we get some FaceTime with the opposition staff as well. I'm gonna might make the plane wait for us back. No problem.
Steve, you talk about people being scared or worrying about going there, but just tell me from your experience going to a big club like that in an FA Cup, is it just a shot to nothing and you've got to enjoy it, or do you think what's coming?
No, you've got to enjoy it. We'll show them what's coming, because we need to get that out of their system as early as we can, and they know what's coming. They're not. Everyone's got a TV, and a mobile phone. So we need to go enjoy it. You need to go enjoy it. If you go there and you imagine, you don't want to leave with regrets and think, oh, I wish I'd tried this, or I was too scared to do that. You got to go down there and thoroughly enjoy it. And I said, from my experience as a player, it was slightly different because it was like a league game, and we needed to try and get results and stuff like that. So we was in there on merit. Yeah, look, it's a great opportunity. We'll see what team they put out, because obviously they've had the winter break, so I see it won't be as a mixed match team as what it possibly may have been if they was in the middle of the season, because obviously it's like a first game back after the winter break for them, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. But look, we've got some really talented players that are going to get a chance to put their skills on show. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
The African Nations Cup's been kind of you.
Why's that?
Well, Mane and Salah also, and Salah not being available.
Yeah.
So that's going to help, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't think they've got any other players other than that, so we're lucky. No. Yeah, look, they've got some fantastic players, and Salah and Mane not being there is definitely a plus. Just need to work out which one of the other 10 they're going to pick. So yeah, look, it is what it is. Sometimes you want those players to be there, because seeing what level you've got to get to be a top player is sometimes you need to see that in the flesh.
I can't believe the number of people who've not been to see Cardiff City for a while, but have bought tickets to go up to Anfield.
It's always the way.
It's going to be incredible, isn't it?
It's going to be amazing. I said the whole thing is going to be great. Obviously, there's a few more people in there than there was previously with the new stand. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. What a day for everyone involved. And as I said, from me being the manager of this football club right now, it's going to be a really proud moment. And for the players, especially those younger players who have been here since the age of 8 and have come all the way through, and in their first breakout season, they're going to get the opportunity to go to Anfield and play a game of football. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day, Ryan. I'm sure the Cardiff City fans are going to enjoy it as they have done all their away games so far this season.
What's the FA Cup mean to you, and how kind has it been to you, and how much effort have you put into it?
We've had a couple of good, really good runs when I was at Millwall, and we beat Leicester, Watford, Bournemouth one year, got to the quarter-finals, I think it was, and then met Spurs. I think we lost like 7-0 or something. But it was great up until that, like the last-minute wins against Everton and stuff like that. And Yeah, we've had a couple of good runs. Then you have a couple where they're terrible, where you're playing in a champ team and you lose against I don't know, like a National League team or something, and it's just really disappointing and frustrating. But this is the beauty of the FA Cup. As a kid, I'm just going to sound like every other manager and man from around my age, is that watching the FA Cup as a kid is the one thing that was on TV, wasn't it? Because you didn't have the league games on TV like you do now. So yeah, no, it'd be fantastic, and it's just a great. It's something great to be a part of, and as I said, winning the 2 games back to back in the league has just got that. Has added that little bit of extra. Or we can actually go and enjoy the day rather than going there and going, oh, we've lost a couple of them. We don't want to have a bad day here, and then we've got to try and pick ourselves up for Wednesday. So I think there's a real feel-good factor in the football club and around the football club, and I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
And the lure of Wembley, I mean, you have a great history at Wembley, don't you?
Yeah, I like Wembley, yeah. Wembley's good, yeah.
You scored the winner in the
Scored a few, yeah. I think I've had, 6 appearances, won 5, so, yeah, enjoyed it.
I mean, is that what every player dreams of, going to Wembley?
Yeah, when you get the opportunity. You get the opportunity to go there and play. It doesn't matter whether it's a playoff game, whether it's an FA Trophy game, whether it's an FA Cup game. It's fantastic. So I went there with Wales to play against England as well, and that was a fantastic day as well. So, yeah, that's the dream. But I think we're still a few more rounds away from that yet, so we don't have to worry about it.
Is that Stevenage goal still on the showreel?
The shirt's in a room in my house, but yeah, it was that was one of the worst performances I ever put in. One of the worst I ever put in. I remember nearly got taken off at half time, and then you score the winner in the 88th minute, and no one cares, do they? bit like yesterday. No one cares. It was horrendous, but then we win. So
great. Well, look, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about your memories, Steve, of playing at Anfield.
Yeah, we went there with Norwich. Carragher, Skirtle were the 2 centre halves. Suarez up top, Gerrard. We went 1-0 up. Holty scored, and then they equalised, and we come away from Anfield with a draw. So it was quite a day. It was when we went to Everton and we drew there as well, and yeah, it was great. But then I think the next 3 times we played Liverpool, Suarez decided he was going to score 3 hat-tricks in 3 games. So it was a nightmare. But yeah, I did manage to score against them at Carrow Road, so that was good. Even though it was 4-2 loss, but when you was at that time, it was just taking whatever you can out of each game. So yeah, no, look, I remember standing in it, like you see it as a kid, then going and touching the thing. I never did it. I was always very I weren't going to get any shirts when I was in the Premier. I was going to concentrate. It was the game that mattered, and I just remember you were standing in a tunnel and then you start walking, and then all of a sudden Your Never Walk Alone starts going, and it doesn't matter who you think you are or what you think you are, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and it's like it's an unreal feeling, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being a part of that again.
Yeah, and just picking up on Jurgen Klopp, he seems to quite relish this role as a bit of an elder statesman, elder brother, if you like, for a lot of young managers. He likes the idea of passing on some knowledge. Is that something that you're hopeful?
Yeah, definitely. Look, ultimately, it's not about me. It's about giving the players who have worked incredibly hard this year the reward that they deserve. So, but from my point of view, I will try and take as much out of this as I possibly can. As I said, if the coach has to wait for me before it can leave, then it may have to, because there could be a few questions that I need to ask, and I want to get some answers. So, yeah, look, I'm going to take as much out of it as I can. So I've had some time with Pep when he come on to the Pep Linders, that is, to come on to the FAW coaching courses to give us coaching lessons, stuff like that. So we've got like that, but there's nothing like speaking to the men right at the top, and yeah, even if I'm going to take one thing from him, it'll make me a better person. So it's something I'll definitely look to do.
And when you become a manager, I suppose you look at other managers who do it at a very high level a bit differently. What do you admire in Jurgen Klopp that you see now you've been in the job?
What do I admire about him? I like the way everyone seems to want to be with him. doesn't often have like, and what's quite interesting when you look at that is that people still walk off the pitch with the ump, don't they, and start like having a tantrum if they get taken off and stuff like that. And he says often after, doesn't he? He goes, well, yeah, I want them to be moody, but then they come round very, very quickly. So obviously has a good bond with the players, but also knowing now I've been in the job, that recruitment and your group is literally the most important thing in football. Because if you recruit the right people, then your job becomes really easy.
Yeah.
Because all you're then doing is managing the group that you've put together, and then you shouldn't have any bad characters or bad eggs in that group, because then that actually falls on your head because you've gone and put that together. So I think if you look at Jurgen Klopp's group now, it's a group of people that he's put together over time, and they're all his players, aren't they? They're all his group of players. So the amount of due diligence that goes into before you bring a player in, you get a good grasp on what their characters are like and stuff like that. So I think he's got a really good group of characters, and he's a good character as well. And I think that's why it works so well. But obviously maintaining that with such a large group of players is obviously something that you can learn. Is like, how do you keep everyone on board all the time, even though I think he did it with that Shaqiri, didn't he? Like, he very rarely played, but when he did play and perform, he performed. And then he wouldn't play for like 3 or 4 games. So it's obviously an impressive trait, and the one that he may turn around and goes, oh, there's nothing to it, they're just really good guys. And you go, yeah, fair enough. That means you've recruited really good guys. So I'll find that. I'll ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Great. Thanks.
No problem.
I know you have regular conversations with Vincent Tan.
Yes.
Has he been in touch at all? Has he given you any sort of pre-match messages?
No, not yet. That comes. When does that happen? That happens either Sunday morning or Saturday night. But he's been great. I said especially this last month, ever since I've taken over. Constant conversations, constant dialogue, and especially with the transfers, the players we've brought in. It's everyone we've brought in goes through the transfer committee, but ultimately it ends with the transfer committee agreeing, and then me having a conversation with Vincent on it. And the conversation could be 5 minutes, could be 20 minutes. It's just going through what we, why and how and where they fit in, and then gives us the green light off the back of it. And there's been a couple where he said no to, and that's how it is. And then I have to maybe do a little bit more work and explain it to him. But no, he's backed me with every single player we've wanted. Funnily enough, we've got, apart from waiting for Giles, that not happening, and then having Alfie in the background waiting. Every player I took to Vincent and the board, everyone agreed to, and then he's backed me on it. So it's been great, and it's been a real easy experience. The frustrating thing's obviously been having that all agreed and then having to wait for the other teams to agree the players to come. But from his point of view, he's been fantastic, and it's been really enjoyable. And as I said, I spoke to him before the game last night, spoke to him after, and everyone's pleased because we've won another game, and he was really pleased because obviously another new signing scored. Yeah.
Just coming back to team things if I may. Joe Rouse and Curtis Nelson picked up recent knocks. How are they heading into the
I don't know. The text I had earlier from the physio was he'll update me today or tomorrow morning on whether they'll be possibly involved for the weekend. So they're only minor knocks, but with the games coming so thick and fast, it was with the Joe Rules one. It was like, do we risk him and he breaks down after an hour and I lose him for 2, 3, 4 games, or do I take him out for that one game? And that's why we have a squad. Obviously, the bigger disappointment is the fact that we could have possibly lost Sean and Alfie for a sustained period. So, that'll be tough for us to take because Sean Morison's one's unavoidable. It just is what it is. But the Alfie one, if any of you have seen the picture, is if that's in the Premier League, if that's on Sunday, he's sent off. It's a disgrace for tackle, but yeah, it's what it is. Got the yellow card. We won the game, so let's not dwell on it. But it could affect us longer, which is the more frustrating thing.
It's coming back to Joe, obviously with the transfer window done and dusted. I know I've asked you this question before, but I think our conversations over new contracts and things like that, are they going to gather pace over?
I presume they will. One thing that's been incredible with all of the players who are without contract is because of where we've been and the situation we've been in, and we're still in, by the way. I know we've won a couple of games, but we're definitely not out of it. They haven't bothered me with it, and a couple of like small conversations we've had, like soft conversations we've had, they've all been, yeah, we'll have a discussion about it. Obviously, it's difficult because I haven't got a contract either. So for me to make final decisions on stuff is tough because I could make a decision, then I leave, and someone comes in and goes, "Oh, by the way, I'd have kept him." So it's tough, but they've all totally understood the fact that no one can be really sitting there knocking on the door and asking for a contract when we're 3 points off the bottom three because no one's covered themselves in glory. So obviously, Joe Rawls has been arguably standout for me. He's top 5 in the champ midfielders, and want to go into detail, he's top 5 on stats when he starts games of football as well. So yeah, he's a fantastic player, and he's one that I'm sure us and the football club will try and keep if it's possible. Obviously, once you go into this situation, it's difficult because his destiny's in his own hands, really. If he turns around to the club and says, "Don't want to go anywhere, I want to stay here," then obviously that makes those conversations easier. But if I'm saying he's top 5, then other people, I'm sure, will be looking at him as well. Yeah.
Any more? All done?
All done.
Thank you.
Thank you.